All right, so it has been a hot minute since I've started using People Insight Essentials and taking you behind the scenes on the entire implementation journey of the tool. So, over the course of the last month and a bit, I've had a chance to play around with the tool, experience what it's like after go live, as well as get some insights into the interactions with the analyst teams post go live. So, today, what I really want to do is two things. Number one, I love to take you behind the scenes of what the go live experience is like with People Insight Essentials. And number two, I love to share some of my perspective regarding the People Insight Essentials tool. Before we get started, just a quick reminder, People Insight Essentials is the latest tool offering brought to you by People Insights by Higher Road. It essentially is a people analytics solution priced in at just $250 a week with zero contractual commitments, meaning if you love it, keep it, and if you don't need it anymore, you can literally cancel at any point in time. People Insight Essentials promises a 5-day implementation cycle. So essentially between when they receive your data and when you get the first set of dashboards turned around, it's going to be about 5 days. And yes, I did test that out for you. It is 5 days. With People Insight Essentials, you basically get three things. Number one, you get a set of dashboards, either geared towards human resources or talent acquisition, you pick. Second, you get monthly executive insight reports from the team. So gone are the days where you have to cut and paste your own Excel charts into PowerPoint presentations and then put captions behind them, because the team will do that for you. And last but not least, you also get the entire suite of AI tools made available to you. So essentially, you're able to query against your own data in a conversational format, as opposed to having to dig around for numbers in a more traditional way. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and take a look at what the go live experience is really like.
Hey, Lydia, it's great to see you again. Today, we just want to close out on the PS Essentials implementation process. I know you sent over a few changes last week. Those have all been added into your implementation. I'll quickly go over them. Awesome. So, one of the big changes we made is just the header colors. I think the original color was a little too dark. We also cleaned up some of the nulls. So throughout the dashboard, your division field, we were using one that had the full description, but it looks like you prefer the more shortened acronym one. So we went ahead and anywhere where you were looking at division long form, we swapped out with the shorter version.
So what I really loved about the go live experience is where the team actually takes on the heavy lifting of change management and training. So effectively, you need to do a little bit of coordination when it comes to setting up the meetings and setting up the walkthrough times. But the analyst team at People Insight will essentially be the ones responsible for taking all of your end users through the training process and making sure they're aware of where everything is in the ecosystem. In order to set up new users, what do I need to share with you? Is it via email? What does that look like?
All we need is their email address, and if you have a SSO or any other sort of security requirements, we can work with you around that as well.
On the support tickets, just for clarification, what's the typical SLA for different levels? Like, how long should someone expect to hear back?
We usually respond within a few hours for any level of a ticket. And for minor, like low level tickets, the average response time is well under 24 hours. Anything a bit more major in terms of changes or something that involves some logic investigating on our end, our current SLA is for 3 days.
In order to get to the support, top right in this little hamburger icon, you'll see a support button. If you hover on that, you'll see various options that you can create a ticket. So this is where you go ahead and, if you have any questions, if there's any issues with the tool, you can go ahead and fill this form out and someone on our team will get back to you as soon as possible. If you want to look over some documentations, understand how the dashboards work, we have a knowledge base. You click on that. And you can see here on getting started, overview on some of the things. So how to, getting started with People Insight, how to download reports.
So also coming up next, Lydia, we've started working on your AI implementation. What we also offer with those AI generated insights is a monthly executive report. So on top of having the AI with you as you navigate through People Insight, we will also produce at the end of every month an executive report based on a topic that you care about.
And after the first executive report, if we have any feedback in terms of what more or less the team wants to see, can we share that feedback with you via the tickets and then to have those changes implemented?
Absolutely. What we'll do is we'll take a look at that feedback and what we're able to alter using the AI, we will absolutely do for you.
Okay, so as you can see, the go live process is pretty straightforward. And what I do love about it is that even though it is relatively no frills, you do get all of the essential support that you would need from an implementation perspective. And the analyst team makes themselves available to you post implementation as well. So you're basically not left hanging after you've signed the contract and plugged in the tool itself. So it's been a month since I've started using People Insight Essentials, and here's my take on the entire experience end to end. Starting from the very beginning, I sent over about 18 months worth of HR demo data to the analyst team, and literally within 5 days, the dashboards were live. Not in the someone is still working on it, we'll get back to you, that type of way, but actually I can click through and see my data and see it all visualized kind of way. And for me, that's really where the fun begins with People Inside Essentials. In just 1 month, I was able to look at my demo data in different ways that I've never been able to do before and go a lot deeper on things like turnover, for example, that I could never really do with the raw data alone and the visualization tools that I had access to. Normally, for any typical HR organization, you would be juggling spreadsheets and PowerPoints trying to talk about turnover data in the organization. But here, the different visualizations of the turnover data actually showed me what was driving turnover in my demo data set. And it's actually a lot less concerning than what it would have been otherwise. And having AI being able to surface why the turnover spikes were happening and the fact that they were driven by international transfers of the workforce was actually a lot more useful. And I'm sure if you're using your organization's data, People Inside Essentials would allow you to have much better conversations with your leadership team as well as your stakeholder when it comes to things like turnover. Being able to spend 10 minutes in this tool genuinely replaced hours of manually digging around the data set and trying to figure out what was going on from a turnover standpoint. The other thing I have to say about People Inside Essentials is that it is incredibly intuitive to use. So after playing around in the tool a couple of times, I uncovered a lot of cool and fun visualizations to look at things like headcount that I honestly never would have thought about before. And it would have been incredibly labor intensive and tedious for someone to do manually. It's oddly satisfying, I have to say, to be able to see your organization data moving from rows and columns of an Excel spreadsheet into all of the different types of visualizations and all of the different data cuts that you're able to see with People Inside Essentials. I also have to give a shout out to the AI assistant, Pia, or People Insight Assistant. Her ability to be able to spot new hire turnover and just trends in my demo data set are things that I would have never seen before. And it's just incredibly fun being able to verbally interact with my data as opposed to have to go around the traditional way of pivot tabling it and then kind of graphically visualizing it. The other thing I want to highlight too are the executive insight reports the team was able to produce for me at the end of the first month. So here's the thing. I've done these types of reports before, and they would literally take days, if not weeks, to complete. The beauty about People Inside Essentials is the fact that their analyst team pulls all of this together for you. So not only are you seeing the insights of what's going on in your organization, the story is also called out for you. And what I find really cool about all of this too is that at the very end, there is a page that tells you about your users' engagement with the platform as well. So you can understand who is interacting with the platform, who is actually logging in and using it, and then be able to drive your people analytics conversations more effectively that way. Okay, so let's talk about how I feel about People Insight Essentials. So for me, it really comes down to three winning criteria for them. And number one, it's the simple implementation. The fact that they're coming out here and claiming that they can take your data live in 5 days and being able to deliver against that 5 day timeline is pretty incredible because most of the time I do see in this market a disconnect between marketing adage and what the product teams and analyst teams are able to deliver. But genuinely, I'm incredibly impressed at the People Insight analyst team being able to turn around an initial set of dashboards in under 5 days. And the second thing that I love about People Insight Essential is really the strong support system. As I'm sure you can tell with me raving about their analyst team, I genuinely do think it is a differentiator for People Insights as a tool solution to have an entire analyst team in the background who will help you every step along the way from your data onboarding all the way until the monthly insight reports and post-implementation support. A lot of the times with people analytics tools, what I find is that The assumption is once your data is in, everything else will run on its own. But that's unfortunately not always the case. So having someone there who understands your data, who understand people analytics is an incredible amount of help, especially for HR organizations who may not have a full-time staff looking after people analytics, but really want to get into the people analytics side of the house. The third thing that I really love about People Insight Essentials is the economic value. I mean, come on, guys. It's $250 a week, $1,000 a month, $12,000 a year. It is literally, in most cases, going to be less than the cost of an intern in your HR organization. And you're effectively getting full suite dashboards, full analyst team support, plus AI tools on top of that to query against your data and to help you support your internal organization better. In terms of value for money, I genuinely think these guys have nailed it. In my opinion, what People Insight have managed to do with People Insight Essentials is really value engineer the entire people analytics process and understand where the most impactful moments are in the process. So, for example, from generating dashboards to creating time savings for you to getting quick answers to your business partners and stakeholders when they need it, and ultimately getting you out of that pivot table hell that most people analytics practitioners and HR professionals know all too well is incredibly important. So, all said and done, 1 month in, I will definitely say that People Insight Essentials allow HR professionals to spend a lot less time maneuvering their data and explaining what is happening to it and trying to pivot table around it, and a lot more time acting on the data based on the insight that People Insight Essentials is creating. The tool itself isn't just giving you dashboards, it's giving you hours back in your time, the confidence knowing that there is a team supporting all of the insights that is generating, and then being able to have the actual insights that you can use to drive fundamental organizational change. If you've ever thought like, we're not ready for people analytics just yet, maybe readiness isn't a feeling. Maybe it is just a single pilot away with People Insight Essentials for you to really truly unlock the power of people analytics in your organization.